I know that you want more love, connection, and sex with the woman you love. And if the initiation and rejection cycle is very alive and well inside of your relationship, or you've just stopped initiating altogether because you're so sick of getting rejected, then this video is for you. In this video, we're going to talk about what do we do when we want that connection and our partner doesn't and we keep getting rejected. My name's Janelle Fraser, and I struggled with intimacy in my relationship for over a decade. I did a lot of rejecting. I'm also the creator of the Intimacy Revival Method, and on this channel, you are going to learn the lifestyle habits, the sex tips, relationship work, and inner healing required to revive the intimacy in your relationship and create a more deeply connected marriage. If you really want to break free from the initiation rejection cycle and understand what she needs and what she wants and open her back up to intimacy so you can finally have frequent and fulfilling intimacy with this woman that you love, you absolutely need to watch my free training just for you. Now, before I say what I'm about to say, I want you to just know that I'm on your side. I want you to have amazing intimacy with her. I want her to open up to you and be turned on and just want to jump your bones and want you to feel so desired and wanted and feel so confident about navigating her body. Like, you and I want the same things, okay? So I'm not about to tell you this to blame men. I'm about to tell you this so that you can understand more deeply what's going to open her, what's going to get you what you want, okay? I inevitably get comments about women withholding sex on videos like this. And I want to explain the difference between rejecting and withholding, because your partner in a loving relationship is saying no to you. She's, yes, rejecting the advance or the initiation, but she's not likely withholding sex. Okay, she's not like holding it to punish you. She's saying no. So let's take the word rejection and turn it into a no, or an I'm not in the mood, or what you're putting out isn't working for me, okay? So that's what this actually means. So if the initiation and rejection cycle is initiate and she says, what you've just done isn't working for me, well, it's a cycle. So let's look at the initial initiation. How are you initiating? When are you initiating? Are you initiating in a way that honors her, that sees her, that works with her, that understands her, that shows her that you care about her heart and the state that she's in? I've had times where I'm like super frantic or like stressed in life, and then my partner initiates or approaches like, in this moment, it's like, do you not see what I actually need? Do you not feel what's going on in my life right now? Like, what I really need is for you to ask me about what's going on in my head and my heart and my life. And so an initiation at the wrong time and in the wrong way feels so unpersonal, feels so selfish, feels so disconnected. So we need to consider how and when we are initiating. We need to remember that when you initiate, you're already in a state of turned on and ready to go. So there's like, say there's a 0 to 10. You're already like 8 to 10, like I'm ready to go, I'm turned on. But if your partner has more passive desire or is stressed or isn't in that state yet, then how the energy that you're coming with can just shut them down. Because it can feel like you're here and I'm here and I don't know if you're willing to come down here and meet me. So it feels like I need to do something that my body isn't open for or ready for. It feels like you're too ready to go, that like I'm not going to enjoy this. It might be painful. It may move too quickly for me. There's a very big difference between passive and active desire. Oftentimes we're in a relationship with someone who has passive or has active desire when we have the opposite. So active desire, spontaneous desire, means that feeling in the mood just bops you over the head and you're ready to go. Passive desire is more responsive. You respond to something externally. So when you're just walking around, you're probably not in the mood. Now, neither of those ways are wrong. If your partner is experiencing more passive desire, which they probably are, they're not walking around in the mood. So when you initiate, they're not necessarily in the mood. And if they don't feel comfortable enough to move into in the mood with you, which is very, very common, and I break all of this down inside my free training as to why this is, things are all out of order. I share in my free training this concept that You're doing things out of order. And it's not like there's all these magic steps or all this work, but it's about you need to be more conscious about the state of the person you're wanting to connect with, the state of your relationship, the time of the day, like what's going on. You got to read the room. One of the biggest problems I see with rejection is it's also often a disconnection, meaning it's an avoidance of all forms of intimacy and closeness, whether that's mental, emotional, physical, a PG kiss or a hug. It's just like the rejection becomes a disconnection point. I talk to women all the time. They want to feel connected and close, but they feel like they have to jump to a 10 out of 10. They have to jump into penetration before they're ready. They want close and connected moments with their partner, but they feel like they can't have just those. They feel like they have to do more, which adds pressure, which ultimately takes our desire away. But it also stops us from getting into those moments of closeness and connection that would actually activate us and move us from passive desire into a more active state of being able to accept an initiation, right? So this can become this vicious cycle. Let me be clear, you're not doing anything wrong, but what you're doing isn't working, okay? I'm not here to blame you or blame your partner. In fact, it's the relationship dynamic. It's how you are both interacting that's creating this cycle. And so it's not that you're doing something wrong, but it's that what you're doing isn't working. And when something we're doing isn't working, what if we could learn another way? What if there was another way to do things differently that got me the result that I wanted, right? You also have to take responsibility for wanting to feel differently in your relationship. And so are there things that she could do or change? Absolutely. I have a whole course for her. I have a whole training for her too, right? We hold both people responsible here. But I'm talking to you right now. What is it that you can do? Because I have noticed that one side of the relationship can inspire the other side. That when you show up differently in your relationship with new insight, new tools, new resources, thinking about things differently, it opens her, it softens her to make the necessary changes she needs to make, which is what I teach about in the free training is how do you open her up to connection again? How can you course correct and put things in the right order such that you get the result that you're looking for? How can you stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? There's often this great debate about needs, right? I need physical intimacy to feel emotionally connected, but she wants emotional connection and like support around the house in order to feel turned on. And it's this vicious cycle of whose needs are more important and should come first. Imagine you were dating someone and you wanted to have sex with them, but they weren't quite ready to have sex with you. Would you just want them to have sex with you anyways, even though they may not feel emotionally connected yet, maybe not feel entirely safe with you, want to get to know you a little better? Absolutely not. We'd want them to totally want that and be ready for that before we did that. Now, something happens when we get into committed relationships that we just assume that all of this is always true all the time. Like we always feel safe. We always feel relaxed and comfortable and like they know us and we get them and like, but that evolves and changes over the course of our life and things that we go through. And that is not typically the foundation, which is why it needs to be the foundation to have consistent physical intimacy over the long term. It's not that we build that foundation and then it's there, we never have to touch it again, we should just be able to have sex. Like this foundation is the foundation for physical intimacy. And so for whatever reason, we think that if that is missing, our partner should still be able to fulfill us. If someone has physical intimacy that they don't want, what is that? A crime, right? You know this. You're a good guy. We need to prioritize emotional safety and emotional connection and just the climate in the relationship. A woman cannot compartmentalize. You can't be frustrated and tense and stressed inside of your life and relationship and intimacy be there, okay? You just can't. So women cannot just put that to the side. My partner and I had this conversation one time, like if the world was ending, what would you want to do? And he's like, I want to have sex. I'm like, that's the last thing that's on my mind. Which means if you are asking her to have sex with you so that you can feel more emotionally open and available to her to meet her needs, she's not going to enjoy the intimacy. Therefore, you're going to have intimacy that she doesn't enjoy, is further going to make her resist and resent you. In no way does this make sense, or is this going to get you to the outcome that you and I both want you to get to. She needs to enjoy the sex that she's having to want to have more sex. And she needs to want the sex she's having to enjoy it, okay? So we need to absolutely prioritize her wanting of it and her enjoyment of it. And if you heard the word safety and kind of rolled your eyes and like, what do you mean? They're married, they've been together, they've known each other for years. Why wouldn't she feel safe? Like, this doesn't make any sense. She's not in danger. I'm going to post my video below about what's the real reason women avoid intimacy. And I talk all about what it means to actually feel safe in a relationship and how oftentimes women are not feeling safe, even in loving relationships with good men, why and how that is and how you can correct it. Before I go, I just want to say that women are complex, okay? They are complex. And I know that this can feel overwhelming, but I want to share with you that I have walked men just like you through my proven intimacy revival method, and I share that method with you inside of the free training for men that I will link below. You absolutely need to watch it. Okay, if this is like inspiring you or piquing your curiosity or triggering you, watch the free training and just hear what I have to say. If you took something away from this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to get my next video so you and I can work together to transform the intimacy struggle in your relationship.